were able to notice these frequencies, these ill frequencies, these lower frequencies when they came around that was conflicting with your higher frequency. So
Definitely.
the energy was off. When you go somewhere and they wasn't on the same vibe as you, why do I feel funny right now? Not like anybody says
But
something bad
like
to
sick,
me.
like kind of nauseous,
like
a little
spiritually
bit.
sick, or energy draining, or energy
like,
sickness.
I can't be here.
Energy parasites out here.
Exactly.
So you basically just became more aware of it.
I actually started to notice what it was.
Payments no playing, we heard you was slacking, and I get that front end, back end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in, I made that bitch.
Yo, hold up. I say, yo, we back with another Tapped Entertainment Tap Podcast episode, man.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
My man Tap Dub right here.
The one and only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kashavelli. And honestly, we got a lot of topics today.
A lot.
It's a lot that's going to go off the brain.
Ready.
Right now, I want to talk about...
Ooh.
Bless you.
Bless. Thank you. Bless me.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
I want to talk about double standards.
Double standards.
Yeah, as far as with music, and then as far as with like life, period. I feel like double standards only apply to people that make it apply.
Interesting. Can you explain that a little bit more for me?
I feel like the people that look at double standards like a double standard would want it to be like that. Like, well, why can't I do this, or why can't I do that? Versus, oh, I understand. And I feel like a lot of people don't have understanding in a lot of situations. So when they come down to the whole conversation or anything, it's just like they don't really know how to come about it because the understanding is not there.
Right.
So when they be like, well, I seen her do this, she a female, man.
Oh, okay. I think I get where we're going here now.
Yeah, like, you feel me? Like, she a female. Like, you can't really put yourself in that category and be like, all right, I'm gonna be doing this because she doing that. Double standards only apply to people that make it apply.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, all right, I gotta go do this because she doing this. That's her thing. As a woman, you gotta know what's the difference between male and female. Not saying, you feel me, anything is wrong with not knowing, but you have to understand your roles and your boundaries in certain situations.
Right.
Because certain things do apply to male and female.
So more so double standards when it comes to masculinity and femininity, correct?
Yes.
So I believe that that you are completely right. It is levels and it is boundaries to double standards when it comes to that. A lot of that is probably based off how you was raised or where you were, what your reference point is. A lot of times people go off with what they first reference point is, or what they were first introduced to, because they never were exposed to anything else. So sometimes people are doing it. We got people who are doing it on purpose to make excuses.
Exactly.
But for the most part, we got people who are doing it because they don't even realize it.
Exactly, because some people okays be wrong.
Exactly. And a lot of this is perspective.
Right.
So what's okay to you might not be okay to somebody else. What's wrong to you might not be wrong to somebody else. So
and that's where the understanding part come in at.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where the understanding part and communication come in. So we can talk about double standards in a lot of different aspects, but if we just start with masculinity and femininity, I believe that that, like you said, just understanding each other better, understanding the roles that a male has to play when it comes to just life in general. Men are generally stronger than women. Men are supposed to be the leaders. Men are supposed to be the providers in all situations. It's just naturally in us. So once men out there, start to learn these things, they can end these double standards that you're talking about. Now, when you talk about a female, females are more nurturing. They're more softer. They're a little bit weaker than us. That's why they need that protection, things of that nature. But since men are so, let's say, strong or more on the leadership side,
Right.
we can't be able to be softer or kinder to like children or things of that nature. Not saying that we can't, but that's where they come in.
Right.
So it just kind of it's about understanding your gender roles.
Right,
gender
because
roles.
at the same time, it's not the same nurturing.
Exactly. It's
It wouldn't even be the same type of love and affection.
Exactly. So I mean, it's a lot of double standards out here. And you brought up something about double standards in music.
In music, yeah.
Before you, because I wanted to have you explain it, but I want to see if I'm maybe on the right track before you
Talk to me.
you explain it. And if you talk about double standards in music, I feel like men always talk about women talking about like their vagina or their pussy or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna say vagina. It just sound a little bit more politically correct. On tracks and stuff like that, and they hate hearing it, but I hear about how dudes get their dick sucked, how they can fuck multiple women, how they sleeping with multiple women and then dogging them out, and that's hella double standard. So I used to actually be a victim of that. Like, I don't like hearing something about, I don't want to hear about your pussy all day, wet ass pussy, wop. But I actually watched a what is it called? It's a Rap Caviar interview on Hulu, so go check that out. And no, they're not paying me. So I really want y'all to go check that out. But it's a documentary on there, and one of the documentaries is on the City Girls and how they came up, and their biggest thing was that they were truly comfortable with their sexuality and with their feelings, and they expressed it, and that's one of the reasons why they got famous, because a lot of other females felt the same way, but they were scared to say it. So I believe that the double standards in music, and specifically hip hop for real and rap, because it's not really too many double standards in like country or maybe R&B or rock, but also I'm not too tapped in with those genres, so I might not be aware of them, but it's a lot of double standards in hip hop and rap that need to be deaded immediately, because these females is on the come up too as well. The females taking over this rap shit. Almost coming harder than these men. And I'm a dude. And I
had to catch myself.
They've been on that for real.
Yeah,
so,
man, definitely.
So yeah, so what was that? What you was going with that?
Yeah, most definitely. Because
How you feel?
At the end of the day, I feel like at first, like how you said, I was a victim of the same thing, but then I had to realize like we doing the exact same thing.
Right.
The exact same thing.
Who are we to say?
We can't even be mad at it. And sometimes the music might be better than the dude music. So you gotta really just look at it and just understand. That's the whole thing. You just gotta understand stuff.
What you think it'll take for people to understand? Is it people just stuck in their ways?
I feel like for people to understand, it's coming up. Like how the women is basically taking over the rap game.
Right.
I feel like that's gonna have an understanding.
Right.
Because they gonna look like, oh, well, they talk about the same stuff we talk about in a different way, and they did what we did. Okay. I feel like that's gonna make a person have more of an understanding versus a competition. Because right now they looking at it like competition.
Right. So more female and male collaborations, maybe.
Exactly.
I think that'd be dope. Industry and local. Now I can say the local scene on the music side, on the female side, is killing it. I can name like 10 female artists right now that's like honestly shitting on some dudes. So
From our city?
Yeah, from our city alone.
For sure.
You could probably name a couple too, and probably some of the same ones that I would name.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean, double standards, it's unfortunate, but it's something that we can get past. It's just gonna take a lot of getting out of that ignorance mindset. It's gonna take a lot of knowledge. It's gonna take a lot of being okay with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of people not okay with that.
Exactly, because when I first heard that wet ass pussy, or I first heard what's some of the other songs? I can't even
Any
think
City
of
Girls song.
Yeah, all that stuff. I was intimidated by it. I was like, it was something. It was foreign to me.
Yeah.
It was foreign. I was like, what is this? Turn this shit off. But now it's not blasting on my playlist, but I don't mind hearing it just because I actually understand it, and I researched. Like I said, I had listened to that documentary, so that made me. It just opened my mind up.
Right.
So a lot of it's just perspective and opening your mind up. But I believe that was a great question. Talk to me.
All right. Next thing I really want to get into. I know that you're kind of spiritual. So
very spiritual, extremely spiritual.
I definitely want to tap into that. Do you feel like it's a lot of people out here that's just doing it as a trend now?
I do believe it's a lot of people doing it as a trend. Just kind of like any fad or any trend, when it starts to gain popularity, people want to gravitate towards it. And that doesn't always mean it's bad, because, you know, it's a lot of trends out here and a lot of fads that are bad that people gravitate into. But spirituality is something that needs to be gravitated towards. It needs to be brought to the forefront. It needs to be popular. But the thing with spirituality is, if you're doing it incorrectly, it will be ineffective, or it won't have the right purpose, or it won't serve the purpose that it needs to. It has to come from within.
Yeah, and that's kind of like my next question. Like, do you think the people that's doing it incorrectly, are they doing it purposely? Because, you know, like, you can really, I wouldn't say be spiritual and then have good and bad, because everybody has good and bad. But do you think sometimes certain people would just get into that based on the benefits they can get from it, if it was bad versus good?
That's a nice question. So I feel like just kind of what I was saying earlier, it's kind of about perspective, because I don't really like right or wrong necessarily, because that's all based off how someone feels or what their reference point is. So what's wrong to you might not be wrong to me, and vice versa. So that's why I said it kind of come from within. You have to unlock your own spiritualness. You have to do your own research and see what type of energy that you want to bring inside your environment, inside your body. And me personally, I'm not really too much religious necessarily. I'm more so spiritual. I just believe in energy. I believe in just putting good energy out there, and then you will receive good energy. I try to leave a good mark and a positive mark on anybody that I encounter, because I know it's going to pay off more than if I was to leave a negative energy onto somebody. And I truly believe in like meditation. I believe in crystals. Matter of fact, it's not even that I believe in it, because this stuff is scientifically proven.
Exactly.
So it's just the way that I'm on. Some people are just unaware of it, and once again, it goes to perspective and knowledge. The more that you know, the more that you research, the better that you will do, period, point blank.
Exactly.
What about you? Are you spiritual?
Yes, I wouldn't say very spiritual, but I'm getting towards it. Like, I wouldn't really say getting towards it, because I know more than an average person would. Okay. But it's just like I'm not fully there yet.
So, what got you on your spiritual journey?
I was about 18.
Okay.
18, and I just wanted to know the truth, honestly. Like, because certain stuff wasn't making sense to me, you know?
Right.
And then it was just like, if I could research and actually understand, because back to the understanding, if I could understand what I'm reading and what I'm watching and what I'm looking at, then that could give me the truth within myself. So once I started doing that, like, okay, let me see if watching this movie is really me watching this movie.
Wow. Okay.
And then it wasn't me watching this movie, so I'm like, oh. Then I just started learning, like, from then on. Then I just started actually just making sense out of everything, because at first it was like a, you know, like, I wouldn't say like a power, like a superpower, but it's like it might be like a superpower. You know you got something, but you don't really know you got something. And I couldn't really feel energies.
Would you call it like intuition, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely couldn't, like, I wouldn't say I felt energies, but I definitely could feel energies at that moment. So it was like, once I started realizing, started looking into stuff like, why am I feeling like this? Or why do I feel like this when this person come around? It started making sense to me. And then a lot of people don't know, like, I have an eye tatted on my neck right here.
You check that out. Oh, okay. It was crazy. I've been around you so long, I didn't even know that was an eye. I didn't even know, guys. It's crazy.
A lot of people ask me, like, why you do that? And then it was just like a spiritual thing. Like, that made me feel like this is what it's supposed to be.
Right.
And ever since then, it's been aligning. Everything been making sense.
So I like that a lot, because I think that you were basically saying that you were always spiritual. You just didn't even know what was going on.
I didn't even know what spiritual was.
You didn't even know. You were tapped in. You were able to notice these frequencies, these ill frequencies, these lower frequencies when they came around, that was conflicting with your higher frequency. So
Definitely.
the energy was off. When you go somewhere and they wasn't on the same vibe as you, why do I feel funny right now? Not like anybody says
But
something bad to
sick,
me.
like kind of nauseous,
like
a little
spiritually
bit.
sick, or energy draining, or energy
like,
sickness.
I can't be here.
Energy parasites out here.
Exactly.
So you basically just became more aware of it.
I actually started to notice what it was. Like, okay, I understand why the dogs is coming around me and stuff like that now. Like, I understand why kids gravitate and all types of stuff now. So with that being said, I started looking at it like a positive thing, because you know, a lot of people that's religious, they'll look at it like a whole different, you feel me? I ain't gonna really get into that, but it's a whole different, like, y'all doing the wrong thing. Without them really
like
knowing and
demons
understanding.
type shit, like.
Yeah, basically like y'all doing the wrong thing, but it's like, how? You don't even want to understand. You stuck in what you stuck in, and then that's like me trying to convince you it's not gonna work. But all positivity at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, that's what makes sense. Positivity. Right. It takes more energy to make somebody mad, or to make a mad face, or, you feel me, yell, or just anything, versus just smiling, just being happy. Hey, how you doing?
Letting stuff go.
I did that all day. All day, just, hey, how you doing? Have a good day. That's it. It made me feel better, like, okay, I can probably just do this, because a lot of people don't know, like, I had social anxiety for a little minute. So me being in, like, front of the cash register, in front of people and stuff like that, it really...
It shook you up a little bit.
It was like, oh, like, I ain't really... But then again, it's like, when I'm doing it, it's me. Like, I can do it. So all the other stuff really don't matter.
I like that. And there's two things I want to touch on. One is the fact that you said, like, you had the social anxiety, but once you did it, it was just like a natural thing for you. You was able to do it. So getting out your comfort zone is important, guys.
Definitely
you can
is.
unlock levels. You can unlock powers. You said superpowers. It is like superpowers that you didn't even know you had. So don't
like
be afraid to get out your Don't be afraid to get out that comfort zone, man. You will unlock that S on your chest. You Superman for real. We such highly elevated, melanated, supreme gods and goddesses. So don't be afraid to step out your comfort zone. And then two, you was touching on, you said religion and you didn't want to get into it. Well, I do want to get into it just a little bit, because the reason that I'm more so spiritual and not religious is because when growing up, I was in church a lot. I was forced to go to church, believe it or not. I don't know if you knew that about me. And what I found out about religious people is that they are very judgmental, extremely judgmental. And I always wanted to do better, but I still wanted to be my own person.
Right.
I don't want to be no sheep. I don't want to be exactly like how y'all is or how y'all trying to make me out to be. Not saying that every value that you guys have was bad, but what's the point of being religious if I can't even still be myself?
My whole thing was this: if we was taught to not be a follower, why is all of the religions like we're being a follower? Like, spirituality is you being yourself, the freedom to be yourself. When you get into, you have to abide by this and you have to do this and do that, that's following, versus, okay, I'm gonna do this today. Let me make this happen. Versus, all right, I gotta sit in here and read this and hear this for 2 hours. And it's just, versus just having the freedom is more so a hassle than anything.
Right. It ain't even fun no more. Like, I done took the fun out this shit. Cause I meditate on my own terms. I manifest and I pray on my own terms. And I got my own schedules. It's not really based off what anybody else telling me what to do. And like I said, we are our own supreme gods and goddesses of our own self. So with us being our own gods or goddesses, we get to create our own world that we want to.
Because that's what God is. God is within us.
God is creation. God is life.
Exactly.
And we have that, especially with us being melanated supreme beings. I'm gonna keep saying it. Y'all gonna keep hearing it. Y'all gonna keep hearing it. It's
super tight, man. It's super tight.
And for the viewers out there, if y'all aren't understanding what we are saying, that's okay. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to comment below, because that's what we are here for, correct?
Definitely.
For sure. I got a question for you if you don't mind. How do you meditate?
I haven't meditated in a while, I'm gonna be honest with you. But when I did meditate, it started off like with the voice meditations, like the affirmations and stuff. And then I realized that you don't really need that to meditate. So once I started doing that, I stopped like listening to the things with the headphones and stuff, and then I was just outside just naturally just feeling the energy versus me having to go on YouTube and look up this and
a certain frequency and get the lights.
The frequencies don't really even be right when you trying to make them right. So you really have to do it yourself.
Right.
You really have to tap in within the world and yourself.
Sure. I like that. So I think you should get back meditating though, man.
Definitely.
I think you should. And we can meditate together. Me and Naquan, we meditate a lot. Naquan, our producer of the episode. Shout out to him.
Shout out to bro.
We meditate a lot. We like the ground. We like to take our shoes off and walk through the grass, walk through Mother Nature, because honestly, I'm not supposed to have these pants on. I'm not supposed to have this shirt on. This is enough for us. You know what I mean? So when you get touched back into nature, it just feels so right.
It feels like it's supposed to be happening.
How it's supposed to be. We was eating our fruits and our vegetables. Straight out there in the wilderness. We're taking in that sunbathing, taking in that good vitamin D. We had the music going. We was dancing. We was getting weird, doing cartwheels and all type of stuff. So,
and that's another thing I want to talk about. I feel like a lot of people would look at spirituality like weird almost. Like, why is he out there walking around in the grass?
I love being weird. I am weird. I love that term. If you're not weird, if you're not different, then you're just basic.
Because normal is just like, ugh.
Yeah, so weird. I when people say weird, they be like, "This is weird." I'm asking them again, like, "You sure?" Because it's probably exactly what I'm looking for.
And most weird to people is really things that people haven't even got into, haven't even engaged into.
Like
that's
knowledge,
why it's weird.
aka ignorance.
Ignorance.
So. Hey, go back to
Without
that. Tap
knowing.
in. Try it. Look, don't even knock it until you try it, for real.
Exactly.
Only thing I wouldn't knock till you try is like heroin. And,
exactly.
Or I would knock it till you try it, excuse me. It's like heroin and hard drugs. But if it's not hard drugs or something that's violent or like a sexual offense,
if
then
it's
you should try it.
It's tapped.
Exactly. And meditate. Don't be afraid to get a group of people together, get your friends together, and just try some different stuff. Cause me and bro, we try it out. We get down on the meditation side. That's why I brought it up, because I was like, shoot, if you are meditating, then I want to meditate with you. If you're not, then come with us, and then we can.
Yeah, because I definitely want to get back into it. I definitely do.
For sure. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little hungry right now.
Hungry?
Yeah, I'm actually a little hungry. I'm fasting right now, but I could really go for like some fruit right now. Now that I brought it up, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said something about fruit. Now I want like a pear or an orange, even though I've been fasting since Sunday at 11 o'clock. What time is it now? Like Monday at like 1 or something like that. I believe so. Like it's been over 24 hours, and I just been drinking straight juice and stuff like that. But I could definitely go for like. Dang, I should see. Look, I haven't put myself in it. Now I want a freaking orange. You know what I mean? My bad.
How's that been though? Like
fasting?
Yeah.
Fasting has been a mental. It's mind over matter for real. It's a mental struggle more than a physical struggle, because, like I said, now that I thought about it, now I want it. Like literally, my stomach growled. So I was like, oh shoot, I didn't realize how hungry I was. But I don't eat any food from Sunday at 11 o'clock p.m. to Wednesday at 11 o'clock p.m. So I got 72 hours of fasting each week, and I just do a partial dry fast, which is just straight liquids, juices, not even smoothies, because smoothie still has the pulp and stuff onto the from the fruit. So that's technically kind of like eating and technically kind of filling, more so than the juice. So literally just juice and water and a lot of meditation to get your mind off hunger and productivity. Because when you're doing something, actively doing a podcast, actively cooking, actively being in your, I'm a father too, being in my daughter's life, you stop thinking about what I'm gonna eat next, and it leaves room for other ideas to come in.
Exactly.
So now I'm not worried about where I'm about to go eat or where I'm about to cook tonight. Now I can be a little bit more creative. Now I can do other stuff. I have room for other enriching thoughts to come through. So I recommend anybody out there try a fast, maybe even if it's for one day out the month where you just don't eat any food, because it will be very refreshing for you. It's also a cleanse for your digestive system. So, or just your body in general, because depending on how old you is, if you never did a fast, then you never detox your body for however old you are, which is more than likely a long time. So I think fasts are a great way to build mental toughness and to reset and recharge your body. Okay. For sure. Have you ever fasted before?
I tried it a day, but the next day it was like I felt weak.
Yeah. It does do that to you, but you have to do it properly. So I would eat a decent meal before you start fasting. That's important. I also would meditate a crap ton, because when you're meditating, you're getting in tune with your spirituality.
Mind over matter.
We honestly, we way weaker than we used to be. It's a lot of radiation. It's a lot of ill frequencies. It's a lot of just bull crap that has affected our toughness as melanated individuals. A lot of fluoride. So back in the day, we could go a few days without eating, or eating one big meal and then lasting a couple days.
Right.
Appreciate it. So it's just getting back to our roots. How are we kings? We kings, queens, gods, and goddesses. And being a god or goddess, you should be able to do that without no problem. But like I said, we've been weak, and it ain't just our fault. It's a lot of chemical castration. It's a lot of war, just spiritual warfare against us from those people. Which I don't want to get too far into that. I don't know if this is that type of conversation, but
it could be.
But yeah, it's a lot of stuff against us. So once again, you have to recognize it, have the knowledge for it, and be able to deflect it. Like, you feel me? Weave it out.
You definitely gotta be on 10 for it.
It's like a spiritual boxing fight right now. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't getting touched. I'm Javante Davis and shit. You feel me? Knocking shit out with a gut punch. Straight to the chest. You feel me? So
definitely.
That's how I'm coming with it. And it took me a while to get this, y'all. It really took me a while to get to this point. I'm 23 years old. I just turned 23. Is it the 8th or the 9th now? Like, my birthday May 4th, so I think it's the 9th, so like 5 days ago. I don't know when y'all will see this.
Happy belated.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
For sure.
But so yeah, it took me at least, because I've been on this journey since about last year, maybe a year and probably about a year, some change, maybe even less. So it took me 21 years to get tapped in. So it's never too early, but it's also never too late.
It's never too late.
For sure. Got anything else for me, good brother?
I do have a question for you.
Talk to me.
Did you know if you eat at night, that determines if you wake up restless or not?
I didn't know that scientifically, but just based off me eating at night and waking up, I done felt these different things. But it's almost like when I eat right before I go to sleep, I feel first of all, the weight carries on a little bit more, so it builds a little bit more weight because you're going straight to sleep, so you're not walking those calories off or exercising those calories, burning those calories is what I'm looking for. And when you get up in the morning, it's like, I'm gonna just be super blunt, like you gotta shit, you know what I mean? Exactly. It's like all that, it's like a process while you were sleeping, so now you got a heavy load inside your stomach, so you starting your day off with a
so
with
it's
a nice
either that or you wake up feeling, you feel me, relieved,
more refreshed. Because sleeping is
it's like
a form of fasting. Body. You know that sleeping is a form of fasting, and you know what the first meal when you wake up is called?
I don't.
Breakfast.
Oh, breakfast. Okay.
You see how it makes sense?
See,
so sleeping is fasting.
That's tough. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't hit you with some stuff, didn't I? First meal when you wake up is called breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay.
Breakfast.
Okay.
So little tap it.
I definitely ain't know that, man. I appreciate that.
You gonna think about that one too, ain't you?
Definitely.
I like that one, man. If y'all like that one, drop that in the comments. I think I heard that from from 19 Keys. I think 19 Keys got me hip to that, so I ain't taking the credit for it. But after he put it into my respect, I'm like, it's one of the things like you knew, but you didn't even know you knew.
Exactly.
Like breakfast, like break fast, duh. Like duh. So yeah.
And that's a lot of things with a lot of people. They really don't know until they do it. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people don't know. Like, yeah, I can probably do this backflip, but I ain't never tried. Mm-hmm. Let me see.
I'm terrified of trying to do a backflip. I just think I'm gonna break my neck.
See, I used to be a flipper growing up, man.
Oh yeah, I'd never know damn flipper. I'll tell you that right now.
I used to always flip off the walls.
For real, you could do backflips to this day? They say, what happened?
I got older.
Hey man, you should still be able to do a damn backflip though. What about pool? You like into a pool or some shit?
Like swimming?
Yeah, like
I can't
backflip.
Swim.
You can't swim? Swear.
I can't swim.
You never learned how to swim growing up?
No.
Wow.
It's a lot of stuff I ain't really, like I always wanted to do, but I ain't never have the access to. Like I always wanted to go camping and you feel me, stuff like that, but I ain't never really had the access to it.
Thank you. So, wow, we got to get you to some swimming pools. We got to get you on a camping trip. We're actually going on a hiking trip here at the end of the month. That I actually got to send y'all the information and stuff for that. But would you be interested in that?
Most definitely.
Hiking trip. It's gonna be like a whole day thing. We'll have the whole gang out. We'll do some hiking. Obviously, we'll pack some nice nutritional food.
Can I get one of those fancy hats they be wearing?
Please do. Please get the fancy hat and a nice little water jug. Get you a nice little comfortable book bag.
Be on some Indiana Jones.
Exactly. We're going on an adventure, and it will also, it'll be an enriching conversations throughout it. You know how I get. Everything got to have a message. Everything got to have a point. And I believe I got a million quotes, so I have like
now
quotes
it's pointless.
Exactly.
That's a quote right there.
Exactly. So come hiking with us, man. We're going at the end of the month, and I think you will really enjoy it. Getting in touch with nature. You know, we live in a city, so it's a lot of industrial things going on. It's a lot of cars, so that means carbon dioxide. That means ill fumes going into the air that we breathe in on a daily basis.
A lot.
So when you take some time to go out to nature and get that fresh oxygen and that fresh energy, you will feel refreshed. It's like if your battery is at like 60% right now, you definitely gonna jump to like 80%. Your human battery. So it's like a refresh, it's like a fast charge, like to call it. So. Yeah, definitely tap in, man, to
For
that.
Sure, I definitely got to tap in. I always got a quote I say myself, man. It's acknowledge, accept, and then change.
Knowledge, accept, and then change. What's that? CAC? Knowledge, accept. If like the acronym would be what? CAC. I always think of stuff in acronyms. That's just how my process. But knowledge, accept. Wait, what is it? What is it? One more time.
Acknowledge, accept, and then change. So AAC.
Okay, I like that. I got a couple quotes. I got some that I wish I had my phone to see some new quotes, but I got one that say courage is the power needed to go from failure. I don't want to misquote it. But I got one for you. So happiness is a conscious choice, not an automatic response. So happiness is up to you. You know what I mean? It's not something that just is going to happen just because.
Right.
Conscious choice, my guy. So for instance, if you weren't exposed to this hiking and weren't exposed to swimming, you feel me? It's a conscious choice. So you got to go do these things. You don't even know. You might find a euphoria that you never thought you would ever experience doing it. So conscious choice.
Definitely. And fear is the mind killer, man.
Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's the acronym for fear. So fear is literally not real. Fear is fake. Fear is in your head.
Definitely.
You gotta go out there and try. Other words, what would I like to say? Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it, Nike. Just do it.
And, our producer said we was about 30-something minutes in, so I don't know if you wanted to.
I mean, we could wrap it up. It's definitely been a great experience talking to you, man. I actually learned a lot from talking to you. And
thank you.
I want y'all to tune into the next episode. It's gonna be crazy. Tap in, man.
Stay tapped.
Payments no playing, we heard you was slacking, and I get that front end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in, I'm with that bitch.